Well, Obama's words about the fiscal cliff are right coming out right about now, actually within the last hour. The metals, I've been looking at the metals and they've been going up. So, quite obviously, it looks like he's saying some things that are positive. In other words, there's resolution in sight. Things aren't all ironed out yet, just like the woman here is adjusting something on her pedals. They're still adjusting some things on the budget before they can go ahead and get on with the races again, spending money into oblivion, right? That's all the government does. Spend money into oblivion. So it's the race to the bottom, to make the dollar go down. And it will. Yeah, I'm going to actually say a couple other things about silver and gold. I know everybody said, buy silver, buy gold. If you didn't buy it, buy it. If you already are loaded down and you got like a large percentage of your money already wrapped up in the silver and gold, you don't necessarily have to do that. I always showed a bicycle. I think that's one of the most practical things out there. Guns is another good one. If you're in a place you can't buy guns, buy anything to defend yourself. And I guess the bicycle. I was looking at some. I'm going to get into a couple of comments about some of these people on the internet, and some of these famous people on the internet too. I'm going to have to be derogatory about it. I don't know what the heck to tell you, because they're painting a complicated picture, like this woman here is pedaling through the streets of Paris and on the roads and stuff. It's not that complicated. I mean, just be cool about things. First off, I know we buy silver and gold because it's physical protection of your financial assets. That's smart. And I know, like I talked about the gun control and stuff, about, you want physical protection of yourself. And actually, you can't protect physical assets without a gun. So, if you have silver and you don't have a way to protect yourself, I mean, you don't have to have the silver in your house or something like that. But still, I mean, you have to have ways to protect your ownings. And actually, your ownings are in where you reside. So you have to have a gun. It's just as important to protect yourself with a gun. It's the only way you can actually financially protect yourself too. So this is a financial update, but guns are all related to that. Really, your physical protections and your physical self is really all financial too, and the only way to really protect it too is through a gun. The police actually just take reports. They're not there standing guard on your house. They just take reports. That's what happens after the fact. Now, I want to get into a couple things. I've been reading a lot, just to diverge here really quickly. Same old characters coming out, Dr. Deagle and I don't know what the hell his name, Quayle or whatever the hell his name is. I don't pay attention to these guys too much. They got some really wild stories out there. And I'm not going to say that they're not true. And I got to give Alex Jones some credit, because he's the only one actually harping on his gun control stuff a lot. I got to give him credit there big time. But, when people declare that martial law is going to be declared real soon, that's so much bullshit. You know what would happen? I say this. If they had complete gun confiscation, if it happens, it's not going to happen because I wouldn't let it happen. But if there was like complete gun confiscation in the United States, they just disappeared right off the face of the earth somehow, magically. There wouldn't necessarily be martial law right away. It might take 10, 15, 20 years before they actually have the genocide and the gulags. It might take a different regime. It might not be Obama. And, in the case of Obama, I know there's a lot of people out there. Well, there's people out there for him, against him. But whether you're for him or against him, he is 100% Manchurian candidate. That is an accurate description of whether you're for him or against him. Basically, he's owned from head to toe. Worse than any of the other guys. Maybe that's good and bad, because maybe that means he's not bred from the stock of the Rockefellers or the Bushes, but he's just doing the will of the guys behind the scenes, the real power behind the scenes. He's not doing anybody any special favors, because he's a different type of came from a different background. He's not from the elite per se. He's owned by the elite. So whether you're for him or not, just keep that in mind. I'm not for him, but I don't really hate his guts or anything like that. I mean, the only ones I get mad at is Feinstein and Hillary Clinton and people like that. But America, there's another thing out there. I was looking at what Bill Gross was actually forecasting for 2013. From PIMCO, he's good. He gives good forecasts. You could say he's an establishment guy and all this stuff, but he's legit. He's one of the establishment people that are legit. He doesn't have good forecasts for 2013. He says unemployment's going to be at least 7.5%. And, like Bernanke's remarks about raising interest rates were predicated only on the assumption that unemployment was going to go at 6.5% or below, and inflation was going to be held to 2.5%. Well, Bill Gross says that inflation is going to go up and gold is going to go up. So let me put it this way: I agree with the guy because basically you could see this common sense 101. And America, actually one of your biggest problems is going to be food more than anything. So we're talking about investing in silver, invest in food. If silver goes through the roof, I think it's going to be due to a war in the Middle East. That's the wild card. I don't know. I was thinking, I don't want to bet leverage on anything. I'm in leverage in some of the food and some of the agriculture actually, and also in oil. But that's not playing out well right now. It's not doing well. It's screwed up because it's in double leverage, not triple. But I think it will play out because there's going to be a time when the stuff's going to go up pretty fast, unexpectedly. Now, if oil went up, if Iran was attacked in late spring of 2013, I said this before, oil would have been $150 to $200 a barrel, like no problem. Silver would have broke records, and so would gold. See, that's the whole thing. You can't figure this deal out. And, so when that occurs, yes, that's, if you knew when Iran was going to be attacked, you could make $1 gazillion. But nobody's going to know that, and that information is definitely not going to be public. But it is reality that the attack on Iran was right on the hair trigger. Netanyahu was pulling on a hair trigger that was at 1.5 pounds, and he was giving it about a pound pull, and some people were pushing back the other way. It was close to going off in springtime of 2013, and it could have been a completely different situation by the end of the year here with gold and silver, predicated upon that event. But, a word of caution. If that turned out to be these same people that predicting, say, $75 silver, like Lindsey Williams and all this other garbage out there, I don't know what they predicted after that. And maybe he's not even that bad because there'd be other people out there predicting $500 silver in no time flat because it went up to 60 to 75. They're bad news. They're bad news. Now, I want to just combat a couple things about rumors out there. First off, the thing about protecting yourself, the Second Amendment, that's very important. Now, Dr. Deagle comes out with this crap. I couldn't believe listening to this garbage about, you could make an air compressor weapon with ball bearings. You could make like a thing from a microwave that could shoot something out. I'm thinking to myself, Dr. Deagle, you're a freaking nut. I mean, why the hell would you want to do that? Similarly, I could say you could buy a bicycle like this woman is riding right here, and you can cut the tubes and you can make shotgun barrels out of them too, maybe, right? You can make yourself an improvised muzzleloader weapon with your tubes from your bicycle. How's that? So, I'd still recommend buying a bicycle, but Dr. Deagle, you're a freaking Steve Quayle. These guys are all nuts. These guys are nuts. And, Alex Jones, he's a semi-nut, but I got to give him a lot of credit on this stuff for Second Amendment. Like, people like Feinstein, it's not really all her. It's actually the voters. God. And it's like you got to drill it into their heads. Genocide might, if there was actually, it's not going to happen because I'll tell you right now, no way in hell is it going to happen. But if there was gun control and actually the United States was totally disarmed, it might not be a genocide right away. But there will be one. There'll be one later on because it's like you're giving too much power into the hands of a few. And once policy changes, you'll get the Mao Zedong, Stalin, or Hitler in. And there will be a genocide. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. So, like they're dramatizing that. Martial law is right on the doorstep, and they've been dramatizing this shit for the last 20 years. See, I think that's a bad message because you're screaming the sky is falling every 2 seconds and it doesn't fall. Then people don't want to listen to you anymore. Damn it. Some of these alternative media people are the worst ones in the world. And it's like similarly, they're doing this with silver and gold. And when it goes up, they make astronomical predictions. But I do have to state that this fiscal cliff thing, it's going to help gold because they're not going to resolve it too great, and so who the hell knows? And I think, it might be this spring that they attack Iran. I hate to say it for sure. I mean, if I knew that for sure, I'd be betting my money. And you couldn't leak some kind of information out like that because you'd be screwing it up for the planners that were planning the event. It would have to be like you'd want the other side to think otherwise, that the complete opposite was going to happen. There would be no attack. So, I mean, even if I had inside information, I couldn't tell people on the internet. No way in hell. But it's probably a decent bet, again, even though I freaking screwed that up last year. I thought maybe springtime. But a lot of people thought springtime. Even CIA McGovern thought there was a 50-50 chance they'd attack Iran before the election because they think Obama's going to keep putting off the attack. But that's going to bring your gold and silver up a lot. A lot has to do with that, not just the fiscal cliff. And that's going to drain the budget a lot. Now, the outlook for America is going to probably be something like these streets over here, pretty desolate with business and stuff. But there are always other alternative businesses out there. And, some of it's going to probably be with the agriculture. This industrial hemp and medicinal marijuana, I mean, I think in the states of California, Washington, and Colorado, it's probably going to start becoming more of a cottage industry enterprise. And it's going to be tough to actually, they're not going to have the Gestapo coming around every place counting how many plants you have. So you can make a couple bucks off that stuff because medicinal marijuana is such a powerful healer. It could cure cancer in many cases and put a lot of people out of business. So that's another alternative investment out there, big time. That's powerful as all hell. I think it's more, if it was legal to grow medicinal marijuana and industrial hemp in this country, I would advocate everybody do it. Everybody do it. I don't give a damn if you're in a city, in an apartment, you get yourself a grow lamp, and you grow a marijuana plant. Not to get high off of, but if, it ain't going to kill you to do that, obviously. But, I mean, to get the oils, actually grind up the stem and the leaves and use it as some kind of, sprinkling on your food once in a while. The plant actually has a lot of good benefits to it, but you don't want to use anything to excess, just like everything. Just like colloidal silver is a great freaking thing there is, but if you want to make it to 12 parts per million and drink a gallon a day, you're probably going to turn blue after a while if you overdo it. It's just like anything. But, just beware of the excessive rumors out there because they don't help the cause. They don't help people actually even to invest. There's a lot of people, most of the people in the United States have not invested in silver and gold at all. So the exaggerators that keep saying that silver's going to 200, going to the moon, going to $500, $400, and they're wrong, and they keep saying $100 and whatever it is, they're actually discouraging people from investing in silver and gold. And just like the exaggerators that keeps declaring that martial law is going to happen by September, or happen by June, or happen by December, or whatever the hell it is, they're not helping the message of keeping the right for people to defend themselves against a possible tyrannical government in the future. They're not helping those causes. So a lot of times the alternative media I'm extremely critical of. But just to sum up something with the financial stuff, if you don't have any silver, get it. If you do have it, I wouldn't necessarily keep adding to it. I would invest in vitamins, long-term food storage, and actually the good kind of vitamins. I recommend it Nature's Way Alive. Nature's Way Alive. ALIVI, like the live. I can get into more details about that product on another video because it's going too long, but it has pretty much every damn thing in there besides just vitamins and minerals, trace elements, and all that garbage. You need that for survival. You need that for good health. And, if you're in silver, you're trying to get more financial wealth, but what the hell good is financial wealth without physical health, right? Physical health is number one. And physical health is also related to your preservation right, which is your Second Amendment rights too. So all these things are actually interrelated to the max. And but when you're trying to be a truther and get the message out there, exaggerations don't help. They actually hurt the cause. They hurt the cause of silver. They hurt the cause of the Second Amendment. They hurt this cause of true health and everything else like that. So, the alternative media is their own worst enemy in a lot of ways. But I don't know. I mean, this is more of a psychological update more than anything. But I did say that Bill Gross looks like, he's got a forecast out there bad for 2013 unless you're in gold. Unemployment's going to be higher. The economy's going to look weak. The dollar's going to look weaker. And gold is going to get stronger. That's Bill Gross from PIMCO's forecast. Obama's making statements today about the fiscal cliff. That looks like it's helping the markets, helping the metals too. The fiscal cliff looks like it's going to be resolved, but there's more things to be ironed out. And actually, the fiscal cliff is a whole pile of different things. But it looks like, some of the issues are like the tax breaks for the rich and all that type of stuff. But I'll just cut it off here because I don't want to get too long on that. But just beware of exaggerations in the alternative media. The alternative media is as bad as the established media in a lot of ways, and I don't know if some of them are disinformation or what, but I am not disinformation in any respect. And actually, I look at a lot of the established mainstream media. I just don't take their twist on it, But where do you get your facts from? I'm not going to get it from Joe Schmo's blog that lives in a garage someplace and thinks that, the planet line up. I put some stuff about the planets lining up is going to cause silver to go to the moon or some crap, and then spread their rumors. I go by facts, and the only places you get the facts from actually is the established media. I don't go by the established media's opinions. Okay, that's the difference. All right.